Welcome to Cafe Crashdown, where we explore everything from classic horror to the most mysterious and beautiful stories ever told. I'm Kayla, your host here at the Crash Hub, and today we are diving deep into the genre that's making a serious comeback. Gothic romance. From the haunting love stories of the past to today's highly anticipated Gothic adaptations, it's clear that the fascination with tragic love, obsession, and supernatural allure is alive and well. Whether it's vampires that defy death or tragic lovers trapped in their own obsession, Gothic romance has always had a special place in our hearts, and now it's enjoying a resurgence in the world of cinema. So, if you're as captivated by love stories that are dark, intense, and filled with mystery as I am, you are in for a treat. Today, I'll be sharing 5 films and shows that perfectly embody the genre, each one diving into what makes Gothic romance so timeless and hauntingly beautiful. Some love stories burn bright and fade fast. Others last forever, stretching across centuries like a song that never ends. Only Lovers Left Alive is a slow burn of Gothic beauty, a meditative exploration of time, love, and immortality. At its core, this film tells the story of 2 centuries-old vampires, Adam and Eve, who are deep in love but living worlds apart. Adam, a musician, has become disillusioned with the human race and the direction of the world, while Eve is more optimistic and spends her time rediscovering the beauty of life through art and history. This isn't your typical vampire romance. It's atmospheric, beautifully shot, and drenched in a melancholic mood. The Gothic romance here isn't fueled by your typical bloodlust, but instead by the deep connection between 2 souls who have known each other for centuries. They're not just in love, they're both struggling with the concept of immortality and trying to find meaning in an ever-changing world. The sense of nostalgia and timelessness permeates the film. Their relationship, while tender and loving, is tinged with melancholy as both characters wrestle with the idea of eternal existence and, whether it's a blessing or if it's a curse. This film also explores the perfect Gothic setting, from the crumbling buildings to the moody, desaturated lighting. Every frame feels like it was carefully crafted to reflect the longing and loneliness of these immortal lovers. What makes Only Lovers Left Alive a standout Gothic romance is the way it reframes the vampire myth. Instead of focusing on violence or horror, the film centers around love as a force that transcends time and the inevitable tragedy of eternal life. Some of the most famous Gothic tales ever written come to life in this dark and passionate series. Penny Dreadful, I have to say, is one of my all-time favorite shows. And it to me, it's like the epitome of Gothic romance, right? It's a perfect blend of Gothic horror, romance, and tragedy. The series weaves together iconic literary characters. You've got Dracula, you've got Frankenstein, Dorian Gray, and more into a single narrative, each of their stories twisting and turning in deliciously dark directions. What sets Penny Dreadful apart is its exploration of love in all its twisted, tortured forms. At the heart of the series is Vanessa Ives, a powerful medium who is constantly battling her own demons. Her romance with Ethan Chandler is passionate but fraught with obstacles, both supernatural and personal. It's not just about them. There's also the tragic love story between Frankenstein and his creation, the deeply troubled yet beautiful romance between Dorian Gray and his immortality, and the forbidden love between Vanessa and her own inner darkness. The show's Gothic atmosphere is just absolutely incredible, okay? From the dark, fog-filled streets of Victorian London to the grand yet decaying mansions. Everything about the setting, it feels like it's part of the story. Each character is haunted by their past, and their desires and obsessions fuel their decisions, making their romantic entanglements all the more dangerous and intense. The characters in Penny Dreadful are all searching for something: redemption, love, power, or immortality, and dark romance that blooms between them is often the catalyst for their undoing. The show is a perfect choice for Gothic romance lovers because it embraces the complexity of love, lust, and obsession. The intense emotional depth and the tragic tortured relationships at its core are what make it so unforgettable. Love never dies. or so Dracula would have us believe. Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula is a visually stunning and emotionally charged adaptation of the classic tale. This film brings an erotic, Gothic edge to the story of Dracula and his obsessive love for Mina Harker, a woman who bears the uncanny resemblance of his long-lost love from centuries ago. The Gothic elements are super amplified here, from the lush Baroque visuals to the intense forbidden love that drives the story forward. What sets this version apart is the deeply romantic portrayal of Dracula. His motivations aren't just rooted in his thirst for blood. His desire to be reunited with Mina transcends the typical vampire mythology. He is both a tragic lover and a dangerous predator, and this duality is at the heart of the film's emotional score. Bram Stoker's Dracula emphasizes the theme of eternal love and the lengths one will go to achieve it, whether it's through death or resurrection. The love story is lush and sensual, but also destructive. The film beautifully captures the Gothic romance element of obsessive love that can't be contained, turning passion into a force of destruction. With its lavish costumes, Gothic settings, and iconic performances, this film is a perfect example of how Gothic romance doesn't just explore love, it explores the madness it can create. Not all Gothic love stories take place in Victorian mansions. Some, they unfold on deserted streets under flickering streetlights. In A Girl Walks Home at Night, the director creates a unique blend of Gothic romance, horror, and Western influences. Set in the fictional Iranian town of Bad City, this film follows an unnamed female vampire as she preys on criminals by night, while a strange connection begins to form between her and a local man named Arash. This film is a quiet, brooding exploration of love, loneliness, and the search for meaning. The vampire's life is defined by isolation, but when she meets Arash, she sees a glimpse of something more, a different kind of love. The film is stark, minimalist, and filled with dark romanticism that speaks to the alienation and longing of its two central characters. What makes A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night so captivating as a Gothic romance is the way it blends the vampire mythos with the themes of love and loss. The film never overtly displays violence or gore, but instead it focuses on the eerie atmosphere and the slow burn of the growing connection between the characters. It's a perfect blend of mystery, longing, and dark romance with a beautifully tragic ending that leaves you reflecting on the nature of love and the inevitable destruction that can come from it. Even after death, some love stories never fade. Alfred Hitchcock's film Rebecca, it deals with love's dark side, how it can haunt, overwhelm, and consume you. The young, unnamed second Mrs. De Winter marries the wealthy widower Maxim De Winter and moves into his sprawling estate. However, soon she finds herself living in the shadow of his first wife, Rebecca, whose presence seems to linger in every corner of the mansion. What makes Rebecca such a perfect fit for Gothic romance is the way it deals with obsession, jealousy, and the idea of being haunted by the past. Maxim's love for Rebecca is all-consuming, and the second Mrs. De Winter must find her own place in a world that seems forever haunted by Rebecca's memory. The film's atmosphere is chilling. The slow reveal of secrets surrounding Rebecca's life and death keeps the audience on edge. In Rebecca, love is something that both builds and destroys. Maxim's obsession with his late wife leads to both a passionate affair and a deeply tragic loss. The film beautifully explores how love can be both the saving grace and the thing that ruins us, making it an essential entry into the Gothic romance genre. And there you have it, 5 perfect films and shows that define Gothic romance, from vampires and ghosts to haunted love stories and obsession. So whether you're craving something dark and mysterious or a romance that makes your heart race in all the wrong ways, these picks will transport you into a world of love, death, and all the shadows in between. And I know that this is only just 5 that I picked. I know that there's a bunch out there. So I want to hear your favorite Gothic romance that I didn't happen to mention. Is there another movie or show that you think is absolutely essential? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, I'll see you in the next one where we'll continue to explore the dark, the macabre, and the wonderfully twisted. Stay spooky, my ghouls and gals, and take care.